94.3 The Dude is very grateful to our men and women in uniform. We're proud to recognize local members of our military by turning the spotlight on them right now in our Soldier Salute.
I'm your host, Sergeant First Class Retired Don Sorensen, and on today's Soldier Salute, I'm speaking with Sergeant First Class Retired Taz Little of the South Carolina Army National Guard. Taz, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, first I was in the Marine Corps initially. I joined the Marine Corps back in '89. And I served in the Marine Corps total about 5 years. Then heard about opportunities in the National Guard, and I began to do some research, and I wound up, enlisting in the National Guard and eventually became a recruiter. And I worked as a recruiter for initially 3 or 4 years. Then I went into Signal. One of the reasons I came over is to get into Signal and IT because I was infantry in the Marine Corps and I loved the Marine Corps, but I was looking, down the road for his retirement. And I know that IT was one of the biggest things that I like. So when I came over, that's why I was looking for Signal. And I actually got into Signal unit. And while I was there, loved the Guard so much, decided to become a recruiter. And recruited a lot of people and had a good time and stuff. So when I retired, it was a natural fit for me, to look at Signal, and I worked for Scanner and IT. And then at the same time, I always had this hobby of drone. And it's funny how I started out in the business. It eventually became a business. It was a hobby at first, but then eventually became a business. And I was just at Finley Park one day, and a guy asked me, said, "Hey, can you look at my roof? I pay you $50. And from there, that's what started Skyward Drones.
Taz, like yourself, I'm a former Marine, and I know when I joined the National Guard, man, it seemed like almost everyone I met had an Eagle Globe and Anchor tattoo somewhere. Yeah. Why do you think so many Marines are attracted to the National Guard?
Well, I think that I want to believe this, that, sometimes for the Corps, we do it for the country. And with the Guard, we do it for our state, our county, our city. And the Guard is more familiar when it was more family oriented, because the people that you probably come in contact with is people that you either met in high school or you might have played sports against, or they have some type of ties, or they know somebody who knows somebody that know you. And I think that's why a lot of Marines flock to the Guard and stuff. And then a lot of times Marines are looking to still want to be a part of that, feel a part. And the Guard gives them that.
Taz, when you were in the Marine Corps, you were Marine Corps infantry. That's a big difference from infantry to Signal. Most Signal guys probably make fun of those ground pounders a little bit, but you had some deployment experiences with the Marine Corps, didn't you?
Yes, actually did Desert Storm. Desert Storm was my first deployment in the Marine Corps, and it was a unique deployment because I was turning from 17 to 18 years old. I had just turned 18 earlier that year. So the deployment, for an 18-year-old kid that's out there, joined the Marine Corps, but never thought about going to war. But while I was there, I had rashes and stuff, a lot of scary at that time. And the rashes went away, and, I had to go to hospital shift for about 2 weeks. And then later on throughout my career, I had to deal with those. But during the time, I had other deployments. Desert Storm, we did deployments to Angola, Bosnia. Most people think about Bosnia started in 95. I was in Bosnia in December 92. Yeah. And we did other deployments to Yemen, Oman. Pretty much, we was in what we call the East Pac. That was our area of operation. And anywhere in that area, I pretty much went there.
Taz, what I haven't mentioned to our listeners yet is I've known you for a long time, man. And I was actually kind of surprised when I found out you were Marine Corps infantry, because you're one of the smartest guys I know. Mm-hmm. I was Marine Corps aviation. And when I met you, you already had some Signal past with the National Guard. Mm-hmm. And you've taken your IT or information technology skills that you picked up through the military, and you've turned it into a pretty good career. Tell us about that.
Yes, when I crossed over to the National Guard, coming from the Marine Corps infantry to the Signal was like a culture shock. Yes, I enjoyed the IT portion, but like you said, the infantry, the first day that we was go to the field, in infantry, we pack up everything, so I'm showing up with my whole Alice pack with all my gear, expecting to sleep out on the ground, and those guys really laughed. They were like, "What are you doing with all that equipment?" we kind of sleep in the vans and stuff. So we have tents and stuff. So from that point of view, it was a culture shock. But once I got into Signal, I really enjoyed it. It's something that I always want to do. And those guys was pretty knowledgeable in Signal. Of course, Signal, we went to Iraq and stuff. But while I was there, the opportunity that fell in my lap, I became what they call a brigade signal engineer with the 11th Signal out of Fort Huachuca, Arizona. And it was the best opportunity that I ever had in the military because it gave me an opportunity to use what I love was IT and just be completely creative because we didn't have any guidelines. The only thing they wanted to do, hey, we need to talk. However you make that happen, it doesn't matter. The only thing I want to do is be able to pick up that phone or cut on the computer and be able to get instant access to the internet. And we did everything and we didn't have any rules. So it was up to us. And it's crazy because we helped devise the largest military technical network ever designed. And it was during war.
Taz, you've had a pretty impressive career, I think, with information technology. And I'm sure recruiting has helped you to pick up a lot of skills to help you develop your own business.
Yes.
But one of the things that I find fascinating is that recently you got to help develop a special drone. Talk to us about that.
Yes. With the skills I required as a recruiter and the skills of IT and stuff, it launched me into, the business Skyward Drones. By me, traveling around doing drones and having the IT background and having, creative mind, walked into a project and they asked me to come down and down in Florida, in Pensacola to be exact, because they wanted to lay cable from one platform to the next. And me and a couple other guys came together and we helped design a drone to do that. It was one of the second best projects I ever had. But it was a thing that's what we do, and that creativity, the skills and stuff that I learned in the National Guard and coupled with the Marine Corps, that drive to make the impossible possible is what we try to do, with Skyward Drone.
Taz, Skyward Drones, I love that name for a business. Tell me what a customer that's looking for something unique, how can Skyward Drones help them?
First, let me line out what we offer. We do offer pilot training. So I'm a drone pilot flight instructor. So we actually train people that wants to either get into business or just become pilots and stuff. We prepare them for the FAA Part 107 remote pilot exam. We also working with the school district to bring drones to high school students to help better prepare them for the future and get them certifications. Other services we offer, aerial photography for weddings, even as a business wanted an aerial shot, we can do that. And then other special projects and stuff. If you think a drone can do it, you can let us know and we will try it. It just, for us, only thing we say, hey, if it can fly, we'll try to make it do whatever you want it to do. And like I said, we'll make that impossible possible. We have a drone detection system. And what's unique about this is that when they fire up that drone, we know where it's at. We can locate that drone. As they fly in unauthorized spaces and stuff, we can track it down to the pilot. A lot of times drones can fly 2 and 3 miles away from where it was launched from. So it's hard to track that drone. But with this detection system, we'll instantly know and we can help manage the airspace. It's good to have someone to help manage the unmanned vehicles because, the manned vehicle managed, but no one sees that unmanned vehicles and see that it puts you at risk for a possible collision and stuff. So we do many things, for that. But drone detection system is one of our newest capabilities, our newest service that we provide.
Taz, you're a drone pilot flight instructor.
Yes.
Man, that's a pretty cool title. Now, I imagine that there's a lot of agencies out there that would be interested in the type of training that you could provide. Could you tell us more about that?
Yes. For your first responders, like for instance, let's use a firefighter. What can a drone do for them? For one, they can help them with search and rescue. Two, have a fire. They use a thermal and find out the source of the fire. Law enforcement, they can help them with long range surveillance. You can, you have drones that can fly 70 miles an hour, so they can help in pursuit. You also can use either 3D or just imaging of a crime scene. You see everything from ground level, but you have a different picture. You can see everything from the top down, and you can see, and you could take that and you can make a 3D image out of it, and you can actually take that and bring it in and really analyze that, and they can have a visual of the crime scene even when they're back in their office, just like they're standing right there. It's so many use, even for the construction company, help them with survey. It can help them with time lapse, but The main thing is this, the drone. Even if you're a hobbyist, you just want to fly drones, just take pictures, this is a great class to come to as well.
How can our listeners find out more about your program? Do you have a website?
Yes, I have a website, www.skywarddrone.com. And you can either call at 803-757-0022 and just ask for Taz, and we'll get you taken care of.
Thanks for joining us in our Soldier Salute, presented by Little Pigs Barbecue. Serving Columbia since 1963 with that bodacious buffet. By Lexington Guns and Shooting Range. Veteran owned and operated. By Carolina Honda Powerhouse. Motorcycles, ATVs, and side-by-sides with discounts for all military personnel. And Dominion Energy. We depend on